Episode 31. Welcome back, guys. Thank you for joining us. We are, of course, sponsored by Usk Stoves, Pontypool MP4 0JL, Unit A7 of Vale Park. If you would like to go and get a stove or a log burner, they'll give you 10% off if you go in or email them. Mention that you're a friend or fan of the podcast, and Anthony will sort you out.
Fucking happy days. Happy days. Right, mate. So, as we always do, how have you been? How's your week been?
It's been good, mate. I've been very busy. I've had some good news and some not so good news from clients. So this is a new one for me. So one of my clients has got and did have a hernia. So in the groin area. So for anyone listening, a hernia is essentially where the muscle wall splits and the muscle is sort of being pushed out. So every time you tense, it's almost like a balloon is creeping through a gap in another balloon. To what is it? A bug on me?
Spider. Yeah.
Kill it.
Yeah.
And so I got a client who's dealing with that, so we've had to change training massively. So the main thing is he's not stopping training. We have just changed heavy back squats, or I really like hanging, like hanging knee raises from a bar.
Yeah.
But I usually do it to get to the point where you do 10 or 12 with good range of motion. Then you start adding a dumbbell between your feet. Probably one of the worst things we could have done. Yeah. Obviously not knowing he had a hernia, which wasn't from lifting weights, by the way. I think it was from jiu-jitsu. So we
stretched into a
uncomfortable
position,
you just get forced into positions that you don't really have a choice over. Whereas if you're in the gym, you can control. I'm not going to do a deadlift because this hurts my back or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas there, you're kind of at the mercy of your partner, and it's called the gentle art, but it is a rough sport. So anyway, we're dealing with that. So we're doing a lot more unilateral stuff, a lot more single leg work as opposed to heavy squats. And then we're almost, instead of bracing for a lift, like you would almost always tell everyone to do, is trying to breathe through it. So you're still lifting the weights, a lot more reps, a lot more tempo work without bracing as hard as you can to push this hernia and make it worse. So the main thing is get booked in for a surgery at a time that suits you. So after summer.
Is it keyhole? For a hernia?
I don't know.
I'm not
too sure
actually.
Hernia. This is one of those
suppose
things.
It depends on the size of the thing.
How bad can you make it before the surgery? It's one of those things that I don't know. Yeah. So we're trying to mitigate as much damage as we can whilst training and working around it, because doctors love to say, just stop doing that. I'll just sit on my ass all day then for the next 6 months, shall I? I've had some really, really good news. So one of my clients, Alice, who is 15, has made the under-18s Welsh first team, and she's off to Italy on the weekend. So this is one of my longest running clients. I think she started with me when she was 12.
Oh, class. So you've had that full journey.
Yes. So I'm, to be honest, I think she's one of those kids or those young women that whoever coached her, she would have done very well with. So I'm not taking any credit for her being as good as she is, but I'm very happy to play.
You've got to take some of it. You were the one who did it, so
She she's a very, very good rugby player, and to help in the gym is a massive thing.
Playing up 3 years as well, that's pretty insane. That's pretty insane, really.
At that age, like if you got a 22-year-old playing against 25-year-olds, you're like, yeah, okay. But
the difference in maturity between 15 to 18 in just your body alone is wild, let alone 100%. Sort of the understanding of the game and things like that.
Yeah. And the difference in the gym, you've got 3 years of maturing. Like her at 15 is not going to be able to match her at 18. So her at 15 to match the other players in the team in similar positions at 18.
Yeah, that's
very impressive.
That's really cool.
Like she has put the work in for it.
Yeah.
And then myself personally, I'm actually ever so slightly behind on the squat program. So I had a mega rough week last week. Just busy. I've caught up, so I finished week 4, day 4, which is essentially session. If there's 16 sessions in this, I finished session 8. So the 3 sets of 4 at 170, which didn't feel amazing. So Pewee sent me a lovely message telling me to get my shit together for the next one. And then the following session is 5 sets of 5 at 170, which I know we spoke about earlier, but I was getting in my own head thinking, oh, this is going to be rough. This is going to be rough. Yeah, no shit, it's going to be rough. Yes, that is the heaviest I've ever done for 5 sets of 5 is 170.
Yeah.
So if I do that, no matter how bad it feels, you have still ticked the box of this is the standard that you were at or you need to be at, and you are still there or thereabouts.
Yeah, nothing. It goes back to that one pod that we talked about where I did the review on the massive squatter, and the coach said to him before he lifted, nothing is going to feel good about this lift, so just fucking suck it up and brace for it.
Yeah.
Like nothing is going to feel good about 170 for 5x5, but you're just going to have to deal with it and just suck it up, There
was it'd be nice if you could look back through your Instagram or through your videos, because you look at these videos, and I watched the last set I did whenever it was I trained. And doing it, I thought, oh, that was like close. That was hard. And I watched the video back and went, oh, it was fine. So it's nice to look back on your previous bests and how you felt in the moment building up to it, how you felt after it, as opposed to just looking back and going, oh, that was easy. Why can't you just do that all the time? Because in the moment, it was probably a lot tougher than it actually was. So it's nice to have a bit of a reference point of, honesty.
Yeah.
I think we used to draw like smiley faces in like training
the books,
next to if it was good or bad.
I think squats are one of the only things that I would say for a client to watch back in between sets, because the amount of times you're with a client and you'll say, you're going to squat X, they squat it and they turn to you and go, oh my God, that was incredibly hard. That was, oh my, and you just show them the video and immediately they go, oh, okay, I'll put another 5 kilos on.
You were right.
Yeah, it was one of the, I think squats and maybe deadlifts as well are the only like static lifts that I would say, look, watch it back. Just not so much to like dissect technique mid-session, but I would do it just to see the effort of the speed of what the bar is moving. The amount of times that I've warmed up, felt like dog shit and just thought, right, I'll film one just to see if it is my body or it is just my brain, kind of playing tricks on you. And sometimes, you do move like shit and you just go, right, okay, today's not the day to add 5 kilos. But most of the time, you stand up out of the squat and you look at it and you just go, oh, okay.
I agree.
I'm just being a bit of a wimp with this one.
I was going to say, if you're looking for the purpose of trying to change technique as you're doing it, probably not. But for the sake of, you've got a few more kilos in there, watch this back, have at it. That's the perfect reason to watch your training back in between. Yeah. I've got this mate who, I don't know if you know, but he ran a comp on Sunday and I went down to that. That was pretty good. But how was your week?
The week itself was very, very poor with training, just because of the build-up to, as you just mentioned, we ran a competition on the weekend, which we'll dissect and use this podcast to go through our favourite moments and bits and pieces and the importance of it. But training-wise, I just got the sort of not bare minimum in. Got the squats done, got the accessories done, but I only trained, I think, twice that week. In general, I did a bit of conditioning just to tick boxes because I knew the build up to that week was going to be very stressful and very long. And then I knew once the competition was done, I can go back to normal training. So there was pointless me risking not running a good competition for selfishly wanting to train, whereas then getting to comp day and just being like utterly stressed that everything is going wrong or I haven't prepared for it. This week now, going back to it, I've trained 3 times. My energy is very low, to be expected, but I'm back to training. So I've had 4 days not training and then went back to training normally anyway.
What does conditioning look like for you at the minute? You said you did some conditioning on.
So I've done a few WODs with, again, when I say WODs, I will do like erg stuff, dumbbell stuff. I did kettlebell stuff yesterday with some ergs and some just sweaty stuff. Basically, I did like a 30-minute AMRAP yesterday of just chucked a timer on, and it was calories on the bike, calories on the rower, kettlebell clean and jerks, and then box jump overs, just 30 minutes, just constantly trying to move and just die.
I like those ones. It's you're not like there's not a goal in mind. The heart rate ones are good. Try and stay in zone 2 and just move. Yeah,
I'm not looking to. Don't get me wrong. I'm not doing any gymnastics. I'm not doing any like crazy stuff like in WODs. I'm just literally doing it because yesterday I had no energy. Got to the gym and just thought, right, chuck 30 minutes on the timer and just slog away. Once the 30 minutes is done, I felt like I'd worked hard enough. I felt better for doing it, and then I left going, well, at least I done something and I'm aching today from it, which was good. But yeah, so the competition, myself and Meg ran a competition. So it was the MAC X SSC competition. It was the second one we've ever done, and we ran it on Sunday, which was St. David's Day. So we had a bit of a Welsh theme to everyone that came down, and the first competition we did, I think we had about 35 to 38 or 39 lifters come down, and it was a great day, but it was a lot of learning. So it ran really smoothly. And the one thing that I said to everyone that helped, who I'll thank in a second, the first competition, I basically said, look, the main thing that I wanted to do is run on time, because the amount of competitions you go to and the amount of comments that we've had since doing those competitions from people saying, it was lovely that I run on time. It was lovely that everything was planned and organised correctly. Like the amount of times you go to a competition and it says your weighing is at 12 o'clock, you turn up at 12 and they go, oh, your weigh-in is now at 1. But then you've got an extra hour of basically waiting around. Starving yourself and
it's
holding
a long
on.
enough day anyway without it being pushed back another 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. And that was the main thing that we did really, really well on the first time. And now this time around, we thought, okay, there's going to be some more members joining or more people joining, and we wanted to make it as exciting as we possibly could and keep the groups as tight and as sort of exciting as we possibly could. And then I think it was like 52 or 53 in the end signed up. So it stretched our day out a lot more than we were expecting, which was something that we've learned from and we've got to do a little bit better at. But
is there kind of a limit on how many you would?
So we were in a position where we would probably next time do it over 2 days rather than just one. But we were at the limit of one day being busy enough for it to be a really busy, fun, amazing day on the day one. But then if we had stretched it to 2, you would have had too quiet. It would have been too quiet, and then the atmosphere would have been lost. And then you're asking bar loaders and MCs and stuff to sacrifice basically their entire weekend, which we definitely don't want to do. So yeah, the competition in itself, from the feedback we've had, has gone down an absolute storm, and I absolutely loved it. It was one of the longest days of my life, but suddenly flew by. So I got there at 6 o'clock in the morning, and shout out Matt. He was already there. He was already there waiting for me to put up some tarpaulin and do some last bits and pieces. And then we left the gym at about 20 to 8. So it was a long day of.
That's a normal day for a PT.
Yeah. So it was a long old day, but in general, I couldn't be happy with how it ran, and I'm so grateful for everyone who helped, from the bar loaders to the MCs to the referees to the people who were helping with weigh-ins, the people who were selling t-shirts and just generally helping. Everyone got stuck in, and for most of you, it was a long 12-hour day, which on a Sunday, is you're sacrificing your last day of rest. So it was good. Now, I want to start off with. We've got some messages from people saying like, this was my favorite moment. These are my favorite lifts from the day. And we've had lots of people messaging, giving their sort of opinions on things, or maybe saying, when is the next one? So we'll go through those. I just want to go through why it runs so smoothly, right? So me and Meg couldn't have done that competition without the people who helped. So the bar loaders that we had, the MC, I'll go through the MC, but the way it runs so smoothly.
What's MC stand for?
Mic controller.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. So we had Ollie Reese, shout out Ollie Reese, and we had Sarah, shout out Sarah, who were sort of on the MC and on the microphone explaining everything that was going on. And Sarah was doing all the laptop stuff, which is such a hard job to do under pressure as well. But the day starts, and everything that people had to do, they did absolutely spot on. So there was no sort of extra stress added on to myself or Meg or anything like that. It was just everyone was just on point. The groups were phenomenal. The lifters were awesome. Like the attitudes around the lifting, like there was some amazing lifts going down, some huge snatches in the last group. There was PBs, there was first 100 kilo clean and jerks for some of the boys. It was big sort of saves and sort of really entertaining lifting. And the crowd itself was amazing. Like you came down and that room was just wall to wall people.
Yeah, it was class. You looked, me and Pui looked over, and you looked very stressed 1 or 2 times.
Yeah.
It's like you were sort of in the room, but like somewhere else at the same time.
Yeah.
But from me watching it, like obviously I didn't get involved in helping or lifting or anything. But it all looked like it was bang on timing. Everyone was having a good time.
Yeah.
And for the 2.5 hours or so I was there, it was everything you would want the comp to be.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So I was really passionate about it, and I think the stress coming out of me was I really wanted everyone to just have a fucking awesome time, and I wanted everyone to leave that competition going, I had a great time personally. It was made personal, or it was made good because of these reasons. And I've left there going, I want to do another one at that place. So for me, the stress wasn't so much actually coaching or anything like that. It was just making sure that everyone was just having a laugh and having fun and getting the right treatment as an athlete, I think should, which a lot of competitions, It just doesn't happen, and it's just sad.
You were coaching athletes as well as
Yeah, so I coached every group of the day. I had someone in, so I didn't leave the back room for any groups, which was amazing. And like the different back rooms and the different people in there, the environments they created were nothing but sort of wholesome and sort of encouraging and exciting. It was just fucking awesome. But yeah, so thank you to all the helpers, basically. Now, one thing that I've taken from our competition, which I think is really, really important for anyone who's looking to run a competition or maybe get better at running competition. I'm not saying we run the best competition ever, because there's definitely things that we could learn from. But we had Ollie Reese. Now, Ollie Reese, hopefully you listen to this. I'll send it to him just to say thank you, right? He was basically the mic controller or the MC for the first competition, and he done such a good job that we invited him back and said, please, please, can you do it again? Yeah. Like, we need someone like you to do it. And the importance of what he did was every group, he did not stop explaining what was going on. He didn't stop explaining or encouraging lifters. He was announcing when people were going for PBs. He was, if there was a no lift, he would explain to the crowd that this is why, he would explain why the bar loaders were having to do things. And it just kept the crowd in the loop with, if you're in the crowd and you have no idea what's going on and everything is just quiet and then things just keep happening, you're going to be looking at it going, well, she's just made that lift. Why is that not counted? Or, oh, why are they doing that? Or what? You've got so many questions in this quiet, hostile environment, but you just can't ask them. But
is that not a normal thing for weightlifting competitions? They kind of leave you in the lurch and it's just like...
It's very much just a case of... You'll get some MCs who are decent, but for most MCs, there won't be this is Sam, he's gonna, he's trying to qualify for Worlds, or this is Sam, he's going for a PB lift, or this is Sam, he's got one last lift to save his competition, let's get behind him, there's none of that. It's just like, Sam, your bar's loaded, get out and lift it, please, mate. It's not personal enough, and I think that's something that we're really missing in the sport is... Again, like I'm sure there's competitions out there that do it, and maybe I just haven't been to them. But there's not many competitions that I've been to, and I've been to fucking hundreds, where I've walked away going, that MC did an amazing job. That really stood out to me. They're usually just the run of the mill. Oh yeah, good lift. Oh, no lift. No explanation as to why it was a no lift.
Like they don't really want to be there. They're just kind of there.
It's really sort of.
He was good. He seemed like he was into it. He seemed like
he loves it, mate.
I want to be here.
Yeah, and he brought the energy and he kept it going. And like it's a 12-hour day for him, sat there watching weightlifting, talking about it, organising things, doing the timers, and Sarah's sat next to him on the laptop, like under pressure, doing all these sort of changes and movements. And he didn't falter once, and Sarah didn't falter once, and he kept that energy right till the last group, and he was like, right, this is for the win, or this is to save your competition. And you could tell everyone in the room was like, oh right, okay, we better support him now, because if he doesn't make this lift, he's leaving, bombed out, or he's not going to get a total. Yeah. And that was purely down to him, and I can't thank him enough. The opposite side of the scale, I've put the hardest job in the game is being a ref, being a referee that absolutely upholds the rules. And that's something that we wanted. So being a tier 3 competition, it's a competition that basically, it's a proper competition. Yeah. Like, the totals that you hit are saved and are then able to be used towards qualifying for bigger competitions, maybe like a British or Welsh seniors or Europeans or Masters, whatever. So if you hit something in our competition and our referees have given you something that wasn't a lift, so yeah, sometimes it happens. But if you've consistently got, just refs that just say yes, 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 it looks bad on your competition.
Yeah, like I'm not being legitimate.
Funny. No.
How do you get almost sanctioned to run a competition that will hold some weight and have you qualify for other ones?
So you have to be a registered club. And you have to follow some protocols with it. So MEG's a registered club, so the SSC Weightlifting Club. And to hold a competition, you have to hit certain criterias. So you have to have, for example, in that instance, you have to have 3 judges present. Yeah. So you can't just have one judge that says yay or nay. You have to put these sort of regulations in place so that when we send off the results, which we're going to do today, when we send them off, they'll say, right, it was judged fairly, it was ran this way. You have to have a weigh-in, you have to have all these things. You can't just turn up and.
Do the judges have to be anyone like specific?
So no, so the judges. So we've had a couple of judges that are actual judges who are qualified judges, and then you can have people who are just lifters who are there on the day,
understand the rules,
and that's what we kind of wanted. And it's not an easy job. Like, don't get me wrong, I've been a judge, and sometimes the way you look at a lift, you will look at it and you'll go, I think he's made that, and then the 2 other people will say no, and they'll look at you and go, and you go, but you can't change. You have to be whatever you think is correct
as long as
to
you can back your own decision.
And the worst thing is in the competition is telling someone that they haven't made a lift when realistically they may have made the lift, but it's a press out, and the crowd go, oh,
but you can't, like you said, you can't let them get away with it.
No,
it legitimizes the competition.
You instantly become like the Simon Cowell of the event, like the good cop, bad cop, the kind of, lift someone and it looks like a good lift, but if you're sent to judge, like Tom, shout out Tom Eaton, if you're sent to judge and you can see both arms, but you're at the other end of the room and you can only see one, and you're going, oh yeah, that's amazing, and realistically you might have 2 pressed arms. It just makes for a fairer competition, and it seems harsh, but it's not.
The judges aren't going to have. It's not like you've got Wales versus France and you've got a French referee. Like, the judges haven't got a horse in this race to do anyone over.
No.
And there's a lot of pressure on it as well, because I imagine if you've got someone and you're like, do you want to judge for this? It's kind of like, Dad, do you want to play linesman?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know about this rule. Or, it's not an easy job to do.
No, and The good thing with the judges that we had and the MC, they both worked with each other very, very well. So if it was a no lift, the centre ref would turn to the MC and say, look, it was a press out, or he dropped the bar before the signal, or he did something wrong. Mm-hmm. And the MC then would announce it. So he would say, right, so rather than just leaving your lifter in the lurch of, I don't know what I did wrong, the MC would then go, right, Sam, the reason why you missed the lift was you had a pressed out left arm. Next time, let's work harder. Let's go. And it would just keep the people in the loop of, okay, he may have messed up this time, but maybe next time he can, come back and do more.
You're still going to get booed, but at least you know why.
It's the worst job in the room. But
me and Puri were giving it a bit of that, to be fair. But it's more so to add to the
the drama of it. Christ, the amount of times I was in the back room and I hadn't even seen the lift, and it would be no lift, and I'd be like, woo, and it was just it doesn't matter. It's all a bit of fun,
but that's why it was fun though as well, because you go to these super serious competitions and people probably won't be as inclined to add to the atmosphere.
The pantomime of it became a bit of fun. It was like, oh, Tom was the centre ref, and everyone was like, oh God, I can't, I better lift really well in front of Tom. And Tom's just a normal bloke, he's a stickler for the rules, and he's great at that. But he just did his job really well.
Can I just give you a compliment as well on the atmosphere, because the music in between lifts, obviously the music goes down when someone lifts, and you can just hear the slap of the feet hitting the floor. The music was exquisite.
Yeah.
There was a lot of WWE references in there.
Yeah.
It was good, man.
Yeah.
I think I heard Edge's entrance about 4 times.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is something that I've always said, and I did it at the Welsh review. I think you were. Abby was giving birth, I think, at that point, and I did the Welsh review.
Sorry, everyone. I apologise. I had somewhere better to be.
Yeah. So you were otherwise occupied when I gave that review, but I mentioned music. Now, I love music. I absolutely love just the making it personal, making it an atmosphere for everyone involved. And I'm not trying to blow smoke up my own arse here, but both competitions that we've done, I've made sure that I've had playlists that I think would suit every single group. So from the start, you know, it's not all just fucking deep house and all the way through the day where everyone just goes, oh God, it's a bit flat. Like, is it like, oh great, it's great for the first group, but by the second group, everyone's like, oh, can we just have a breather from just all the time?
Just to cut you off very quickly, there was someone who coached in a gym that I knew, and all they played was house music. And
yeah, it gets boring very quick.
I can't stand it. I remember walking out and like just taking a breath of fresh air in the actual fresh air outside and went, thank God that's over.
Yeah. So I think what I did and what we did very well was I was actually in control of the music all day, which was a bit mad actually, because I'm like in the back room loading bars and then quickly have to turn my phone down, then quickly have to turn it up. So we pretty much should like change that a little bit. But I enjoyed it because I thought, if I can make this atmosphere in the back room amplified by the music that's being played, then I'm giving people the best chance at lifting well. You know, if you're in a back room and you're lifting to fucking, I don't know, Bruno Mars, and you hate Bruno Mars, and everyone in the room is just like, what the hell are we listening to? We're about to throw myself under my biggest clean ever, and James Blunt is on. You know, you're going to go, well, what the fuck am I doing here? You know, but, you know, if you're in the back room and, you know, you've got a bit of Biggie, a bit of Tupac, or if you've got, you know, Metallica or AC/DC, or just something that's all like hardstyle or something that's just upbeat enough to get you going. But we just changed it throughout the day, and it was brilliant. There was a girls group. Shout out to everyone involved, but there was a girls group which I think was the 86 kilo category group, which had a lot of new lifters. Now, I think for a lot of the new lifters, I can't just go in and slam hardstyle or slam rock, because to be honest, it's a very overwhelming place to be in a back room when you're brand new to competing. Like, you don't know really what's going on. You're being told to lift, sit down, and you're getting like sort of this nervous energy building up with you. If you just have constantly in the back room, like boom, 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 your fucking heart rate and your energy level is just going to have a massive spike. So we just calmed the music down, and we had like a load of quite chilled out songs, but it was like Stevie Wonder. There was like a bit of ABBA thrown in there, just like fun songs. And every woman in that back room and everyone who was coaching in there just seemed really happy, chilled, nice, and they all lifted really well, and they were all kind of encouraging each other, and there was lots of new lifters in there, a lot of Megs lifters. I had a couple in there, and it just seemed like it was just this is the calmness. This is what we need. But then fast forward to the last group of the day, and it's fucking as heavy and as loud as you possibly can be. And, you know, you've got Linkin Park absolutely slamming. Yeah, you've got Bullet for My Valentine. But then you've got hardstyle absolutely slamming in there. And everyone in the room is just giving it large.
But it fits the moment, because if you've got Liam walking out to fucking like Enter Sandman or something, like, oh, let's go.
This is it. And that's exactly what I tried to do. The music choice, I really just wanted to nail that. I know that sounds stupid to a lot of people, but it's right. There's nothing worse than getting to the gym and your headphones die as you start training, and you have to listen to the gym's music, and it's someone's not turned it up quite loud enough, and it's like relaxing deep house 24-hour mix, and you're there trying to deadlift your max weight.
You will lift more if you've got music that motivates you. I will, I'll die on that hill.
Yeah, there is nothing worse than that. So that's what I just didn't want it to be. I wanted it to be enjoyable, differences, drum and bass, rap, fucking whatever it was. And something that I did, again, I don't want to blow smoke up my own ass, but making it personal for people with music was, what I said to people in the back room was, if you're the last person to lift, you can request a song. So I was like, right, if you're, so for example, Tristan went 6 for 6, awesome guy, awesome lifter, went 6 for 6. And I said to him before his last lift, I said to him, right, your last lift of the competition, what do you want? And he said, I like some of the rap stuff you played earlier. I said, okay, no problems. And he said, how about some Biggie? So I was like, no problems. I'll play Biggie. Cool. And he said, my son loves Biggie, but he's 10. And I was like, sick. We're putting some Biggie on. And the last thing we said to him before he walked out, I said, you cannot miss to fucking Biggie. And he went out and absolutely smoked it. And as he put the bar down, we turned it back up. Biggie was playing. Everyone was loving it. Yeah. And he came back into the back room and he was like singing along to Biggie. Everyone was like jumping up and down. It was just, like perfect. That moment. And Hannah as well. Hannah had it. She missed a clean and jerk. I think she got pinned in the clean and missed it. She came back in and Meg was giving a sort of a rundown. And I said, what's your favourite song? She said, Thunderstruck, AC/DC. Put that on. Turned it right up. Everyone in the room was going nuts because it's her last lift. The crowd's going mental. And then she absolutely smokes this clean and jerk. Now, I'm not saying these people are making these lifts because of the music, because there were some people in here that also missed it because, but it like livens up the room, I think,
Do you play it while they're lifting? Or
No, I literally played it when they're in the back room, so it's building up. When they walk out, I let it run all the way until they put their hands on the bar and then I turn it off. And then as soon as the lift's made, turn it back up because then they can celebrate with that in the mix. Ewan, Scream and Jerk, he requested Creed.
Which song? Because this matters. One Last Breath, Higher.
One Last Breath. Yeah. And it was it was like he said to me, right, can you leave it on while I'm lifting? I said, I can't, mate, because everyone will start requesting things that just lifting just through music. And he was like, the back room was just like laughing and joking. And then he went out and he makes the lift and it was just great because it was like amazing. And then Liam requested Bullet for My Valentine, Tears Don't Fall.
Yeah, that's a great song.
And class song. And he went out and smashed some amazing snatches. And it was just personal. That's all I tried to make it was, right, if you're willing to dive under this bar and give me everything you possibly can, what do you want to listen to before you fucking do it?
Do you know what you would go for if you were put in the same position? Have you thought about this? Or is it kind of in the moment, just think, you almost have a bit of a brain fart and you need to think in advance of this is what I would like to listen to if I'm going for an all-time PB?
There's a couple of songs. Depends what I'm doing. Like one song that I've listened to for absolute years is Sundown Warface. And it's a hardstyle song. And it's not even my favourite hardstyle song, but I've hit some of my biggest lifts to it. And it's like almost a little bit of superstition.
Yeah,
because I like back before COVID, or I hit one of my favorite lifts that I've ever done that I think flipped the switch in me. I hit a 135 kilo block clean in my shed, and I broke the floor with it. But I sorry, Dad. I cleaned it, and it was the hardest clean I've ever done. I come out of the bottom of it, and I was like screaming my way through it, but when I put the bar down, I've never been so buzzing in my life. And that was playing, just slamming in the background.
Yeah.
And ever since then, every big lift, if I need something, I'm like, right, go back to that. Just tap into that mentality a little bit. What would you do?
Stick with what got you to the dance. I've got a song called You Be Tales, I'll Be Sonic by Day to Remember. And every time it comes on, I don't listen to it if I'm like, driving somewhere and the sun's out and it's nice. Yeah. I purposely will not listen to the song unless I'm in the gym and there's something fucking heavy on the bar because it almost... This is what it's for. Don't waste it on other shit and get used to it. There's a few though. Do you remember the Raw intro, the Papa Roach to be that one?
Yeah.
Every time that comes on, it gets me going. But Liam's one, Bullet for My Valentine, Tears Don't Fall. Sam said to me the other day, because I had the music on in the gym whilst I was in between classes, and he was going for something heavy, and he went, put something good on. And I put that on, and he
can't go wrong.
Yeah, he squatted something naughty to that.
You can't go wrong. There's certain songs, right? For me at the moment, I've got anything with a massive guitar riff in it, and anything hardstyle that's got like a long build up. There's nothing. There's like I don't understand how you wouldn't want to max out to it. Like I was listening to stuff because I was like, right, I'm going to make this playlist. I want it to be really like. If this is a heavy session, I need this to be heavy for them. So I was listening to it a couple of days beforehand, and I'm just sat here on my laptop, and I'm just like, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm thinking, I'm just imagining myself lifting to this, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you're not even lifting to this.
Your heart rate's like 150.
I was sat there going, oh yeah, this is class. I'm going to lift to this. And I was like, Charles, you're not. Like, this is for someone else. You're just on your laptop doing some fucking programming. Calm down.
Leonard Skinner, Freebird on in the gym when everyone was squatting. It starts off quite, it's almost like...
it's like a slow build up.
Like an organ in a church. It starts off really slow, and someone looked at me and went, turn this shit off, mate, we're squatting. And then Max looked over at me and went, leave it on.
Yeah.
And we waited until like 5 minutes came in, and then it sort of, while someone was going for a big lift, the guitar kicked in, and we were like, this is fucking it.
Yeah, it's unreal.
It does make a massive difference. Like the atmosphere to lifting and music is a big part of that atmosphere. But it was one of the things, as soon as I came into the competition, like I said hello to Pewey, I gave him a compliment on the size of his lats, which he loved. And we were both like, he's nailed this. He's absolutely nailed the playlist.
I think the atmosphere goes down as well. You've got to like stir the pot. You've got to stir the pot. Like the MC was stirring the pot. The banter we were having with the bar loaders who did an amazing job all day. The banter you'd have with the coaches, with the athletes. It was just stirring the pot. So the people who were in the crowd knew that it was okay to laugh. It was okay to cheer. It was okay to boo. Like it was okay to get involved. Whereas a lot of these places where you go to, you know, you sat there and you're almost going, should I clap? Should I say, like, well done to these people who I don't know, or should I get involved? And you almost second guess. Whereas, you know, there were some people who had travelled from England, who had travelled from Scotland, who had come down to compete. And maybe they didn't have any support. Maybe it was just them and a coach. But the whole room was like, right, for that person, we know you're about to do something that you don't want to do, but you're in that position where it's a scary thing. So let's get behind you. And if the judges fucking no lift you, we'll boo them and we'll get stuck into them. You know?
A lot of the people in the room looking around, like, we've all competed in one form or another. We've all stepped up there, and you fucking, you know, put your neck on the line for whatever sport you've done.
Yeah.
And if, like, I didn't know people came down from Scotland for it. Like, that's a massive deal that someone would go out of their way
people
for
from Devon,
you know,
people from Scotland.
10-hour drive to go to one of your competitions. So if the MC was saying, this is, you know, whatever his name is, he is from Scotland, he's come down here on his own to lift today, I am much more inclined to cheer for this bloke. And I feel like, you almost feel like, because you've got a bit of a backstory to them, you know them a little bit better.
Yeah.
You want them to win. You want them to do well.
Exactly. And you understand the jeopardy of it as well. So you understand that, you know, if they... I don't want to talk too much about the last group just yet, because the last group was just... It was the most incredible backroom I've ever been a part of, that last group, and I'll explain why. And I hope it makes sense to people. And again, I'm being very passionate about it, but I've never experienced anything like it. But you understand the jeopardy because the MC and because the judges and because the crowd are going, oh, fucking hell, like, he needs to make this lift to win, or he needs to make this lift to qualify for Worlds, or he needs to make this lift just to stay in the competition. Everyone in the room understood the jeopardy of, oh God, this could go either way here. He's going for a PB, or he's doing something that's out of this world.
Well, you're invested. You've got a backstory, so you're invested into it.
Yeah, and you don't even know the person. You just know what's happening right now. You have no affiliation to that person. You don't know anything about them. You just know that that lift could win them the competition, or maybe not, you know?
That makes such a difference. Like, if I walked into the room, my mum's watching EastEnders, I could give a fuck what's on TV.
Yeah,
I'm not invested in it. Whereas she has put, you know, X amount of time into watching this show and knowing these people. Like, if I know the lifters on stage, I'm going to be way more amped up if I'm watching you lift, or I'm watching Pewey lift, or I'm watching Liam lift, than if it's someone I don't know. But then if I know a bit about this person because the MC has done their job as well as they did on the weekend, you know, I'm invested in it. Yeah. I want them to win.
Yeah. Going into the competition itself, I've put here the importance of hitting your opening lifts as an experienced competitor and a new competitor, right? So for a lot of my own athletes, there was a lot of people who were doing it for the first time, which they all did amazingly well. And there were people that had been competing for years who had done it, who also did very, very well. And I can't be prouder of all of you for doing it. But I mentioned to a few of them the importance of hitting your openers and what it does for you, right? So they won't mind me saying there's a couple of people who I coach or have helped in the past who struggle with their openers, but then usually make their second lift, and then they go on to make their third, right? Now, the importance of hitting your openers. When you hit your opener, what it does, it opens the door to the rest of the competition, and it instantly kind of relaxes you. So if you know, right, this is my opener, I'm going to go out, I'm going to concentrate, I've got this to do, I've hit it, you instantly go, Okay, I'm in the competition. Now what's next? And you can always take the next step, the next step, the next step. And it leaves the door open to possibly then going on to push for a personal best or push for the weight you actually really want to. If you miss that opener, what it does, it almost half shuts that door. Because then you go, right, now I've only got 2 lifts. So if I make my second, well, now what I would have taken in my second lift is probably going to be my third. Does that make sense? So let's say if I was trying to snatch 100 and let's say my opener was 90, my second was 95, and my last I really wanted was 100. If I make that 90, 95's on the bar and I'm ready to go. If I hit that 95, then I've got a great crack at the 100. If I miss that 90, my second lift is probably going to be 90 again. Now I'm not going to go from 90, well, Leon did, but I'm not going to go 90 to 100.
Yeah.
Because then what it does, then it runs my total out and I'll probably maybe miss that 100 and then I'm leaving with 1 snatch, not 2. So your total then just gets wiped out, okay? And I mentioned it to Olivia, she had a fucking awesome competition. I'm not, Olivia, she usually, and we've had conversations, she usually misses her opener.
Our Liv.
Yeah, Liv. She usually misses her opener, and I think a lot of it is down to nerves, which it is a nervy thing. Getting your first one on the board is a fucking scary thing to do. And we worked really hard in the build-up saying, right, this weight you're going to hit over and over again, and this is your opener. Like, all you need to do for me today is give me your opener. And for this competition, she hit her opener and then she hit her second. And then the third lift on the bar was something that she hasn't done in years. And she missed it, but she had a really good go. And it was like, you had that opportunity to lift that third weight purely because all you did for me was just hit your opener.
Yeah.
And it just opened the door. Same with Leon. Leon hit his opening snatch. Gareth Herber, Owen, Anthony. All these people, all I said to them was, look, if you give me your opener, we can play. We can have fun then. But if you miss your opener, then all of a sudden we're chasing our tails and the competition already looks like it's taken a dip from
mentally,
what you want.
It's a massive hit to miss something that is, because it's presumably your opener isn't going to be your max. Like, it definitely shouldn't be your max.
Yeah.
So if you miss that, you think, oh, fuck's sake, my head's already down. Whereas you might even get the people, like you said, that they miss 90 and they're seasoned competitors and they go, oh, I overpulled it, went out back. They put 95 on and they make 95 and then they're back on for 100. But a lot of the time, like you said, it's going to be, fuck, I missed my opener. I just need to get a tick in a box for that. I'm going to hit it on my second and reevaluate from there.
Yeah. And yeah, that's exactly right. I would say if you're a beginner, if you're a newbie to competing, hitting your opener multiple times in training in the build up to it is just going to calm your nerves and just going to calm your whole competition down. So that's something that you should really kind of look at. And that's what we did with, I said it to Stuart, Gareth, Owen, Liv, Leon. Leon's an experienced competitor and so is Liv, but they are people who usually miss their openers. And for this competition, they both hit their openers and they both went on then to have amazing competitions. And it was like, there's the proof. Like, you've hit your openers and now you've walked away with, I think Liv beat last year's competition total by, I think, 3 to 5 kilos. Leon bombed last time, absolutely smoked it this time. You know, there were so many big improvements. Owen, I think, put 11 kilos on his total purely just because he hit his opener. You know?
How far out from the competition, if the competition's on Sunday or Saturday, wherever it would be, would you want to hit your last heavy lift being your opening weight?
Probably a Monday or a Tuesday.
Yeah. My favourite story of all time, I've told about 5 times on this podcast, is my opener's 90. I snatched 90 the day before 18 times, and then they bomb on the day from just, being fucked.
Yeah. So I'd probably say if you're competing on Sunday, probably a Tuesday or maybe a Wednesday would be your kind of openers, or you would say, right, that's my openers day where I'll go in, just hit my openers and leave.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then comes, I've put the fuck it and find out attitude around your final lifts. Now,
You got to earn that.
yeah, but it kind of one ties into the next. I always say to people, especially if you've hit 2 lifts, like if you've hit your opening snatch and your second snatch, or your opening clean and your second clean and jerk, I'll always say to them, what do you want? Like, tell me now. You've made the competition for me. easy because you're bang on confidence, you're flying, you're doing really well. Now, if you turn around to me and say, right, I want to take a 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 kilo jump on this last clean and jerk because I'm going for a win, or I'm going for a big PB, or I'm going for a number that I really, really want to hit, go for it.
Yeah.
Like, you've earned the right. You've earned it on those 2 lifts to go. If you're, I don't know, snatching 100 for the first time, and the third lift you want to go 100, but your second lift was 93, and you just want to have a crack, fuck it and find out.
Yeah.
Go for it. You've earned it. And I did that with quite a few people on the day and said, you're here now. You're here. Like, this is it. Like, you might not compete again for the next 4 or 5 months, or you might not ever compete again. You know, it might be your last chance of doing it. So why not? Why not just go for it? Why don't leave any kind of ifs, buts, or maybes, or, oh, I could have. Just put it on and give it absolutely everything you've got and walk away either telling me, I cannot believe I've just hit that lift, or I was really close, I'm gutted I missed, but Christ, I had a good go.
Yeah.
You know?
There's never going to be a better time to attempt it. Like, on the platform, in front of your mates at a competition, that doesn't happen often.
The noise in the room alone, just having that many people willing you on to do well is the perfect environment for you to hit your big lifts. Yeah. I don't care what anyone says. And, you know, if you're thinking about doing a competition, or you're new to competing, or you've done one, you'll now understand the, when I say there is nothing like the environment of a competition to make you lift bigger weights. So in training, you know, you will have feelings, and you will have aches, and you'll have pains, and you'll have all these things. Come comp day, when you've got that much adrenaline pumping through you, and the music's there, and the crowd's there, and everything's, you know, everything is intensified, you will not be able to replicate that in training. Like, there is absolutely nothing. You'll have big training sessions, like some of the biggest training sessions I've had, with a room full of people who are all maxing out, and you think, oh my God, this can't get any better than this. Trust me, compete, and it will take you to that next level of, wow, I did not think I had that in me. But the adrenaline and the nerves and the anxiety and the excitement, and if you could put that in a pill, it's much better than pre-workout.
It's as close to an out-of-body experience as you're going to get. Like,
yeah.
You watch it back and you're like, fuck, I can't even remember half of this. You were just so, whether it's the caffeine or the adrenaline or whatever it is, but it's magic.
No, one of the favourite moments I've ever had in my lifting career was clean and jerking 151 at willpower at the competition, and I can't remember the lift. I can't even remember walking out to the bar. I can't remember anything about the lift. I watched the video back, and I can't remember any of it until I'm in the back room. And it's sad, because I would love to be able to feel or go, oh yeah, I remember how that bar felt, or I remember how that jerk felt. I can't even remember celebrating. I was just going absolutely batshit mental. And I can only remember then sitting down in the back room with Tommy Hills going, fucking hell, I did it. But you won't get that feeling in training.
Do you think if you didn't have the video of it, you would remember it? Because you can almost watch a video back and then remember things differently and change how...
I don't know, mate. It's been so long since I did that, but I genuinely don't think so. Because you listen, I'm not for 1 minute comparing myself to fucking Eddie Hall, right? But when he deadlifted 500 for the first time, you know, the story of him basically having that trigger of thinking that he was deadlifting something off his kids, or the car off his kids, and he says that he can't remember the lift. All he can remember is rolling the bar in, closing his eyes, and then opening them up again, and he's standing there with 500 kilos in his hands. And then he realizes and starts giving it fucking... Yeah, you know, he can't remember that. So if he can't remember that, then fuck me, I'm not going to remember mine. You know what I mean?
Side note on this one, this week, my man Colton Engelbright.
Oh, what freak.
Mate, he just looked like it was like Eddie Hall, you know, insane lift, built himself up for it massively. This was just a training day.
3 times in one session.
Yeah. So
what the fuck?
He doubled 500 kilos with straps, sumo, at 125 kilos body weight or whatever, and then he hook gripped it, I believe, within the same session for a single. So he deadlifted 500 kilos 3 times.
You know, as well, I just thought, it's almost like a bit of a joke that he doubled 500 kilos, and I thought the video was going to finish. And then it just went, nah, I did it again. Yeah, but I just thought I'd make it harder for myself. So I just took the straps off. It's like, Really?
I've had people send me that who don't even go to the gym, and they're like, "Can you do this?" And I'm like, "You have absolutely no idea what you've just sent me. If you're into football, you've just watched fucking Ronaldo, hit a bicycle kick from 60 yards out. It's me going, you haven't done that, mate."
Yeah.
And that's way closer than whatever I'm going to deadlift compared to this guy.
I sent it because it obviously goes around all the group chats, and I sent it and I said, this is the typical scenario of, I've just deadlifted 200 kilos for the first time today. Checks Instagram, opens it up, and it's 500 kilos. It's 300 kilos more than you can deadlift, and you just go,
close your phone and walk off.
Oh God!
Have you seen him training next to normal people though? How? Because obviously he's jacked. He is a big guy, but you don't realize how big and how thick he is until you see him next to average people.
Yeah, he's
he is enormous.
Freak. Yeah, he's just thick, isn't he? He's as thick as he is
built
wide.
like a Coke can.
Yeah. A definition of a fridge.
Chode, I believe is the term. I want to see. Yeah, I'm excited for his next powerlifting competition. But I don't know if he's going into strongman where you can't pull sumo, but you can use straps. So you kind of like, is he going to be just another good conventional deadlifter, or should he go down as potentially the greatest powerlifter of all time?
Yeah.
I think do that first and then explore your strongman
avenues. Yeah. How old is he? 20?
Like mid-20s.
Is he 24?
Something like that. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's young. 24. Yeah, he is young.
Yeah, he's 24, so you just think 24 years old already pulling 500 kilos.
I've heard Liam is going into strongman though, so he probably
watch out.
Avoid that.
Watch out, World's Strongest Man, because Liam is coming for you all.
But I believe him when he says it though. I'm like legitimately like, right. I want to skip forward in time to see you on TV.
He's got enough behind him to, when he stakes claims like that, I believe him because he's already stupidly strong.
Yeah,
it's not like me saying, right, Sam, see me on World's Strongest Man, and I have to put on 60 kilos of body weight and I have to deadlift 200 more kilos. He's already doing massive numbers.
He's got an insane overhead press, which is a massive prerequisite for strongman. He naturally weighs 120 kilos.
Yeah.
He put 119 the other day on what he put up. He's smart as fuck.
Yeah,
and
he knows what he's doing.
I genuinely believe he could do insanely well at it. As far lifestyle-wise, I don't know what his life's like, but I think he's got
it sorted.
He can dedicate time to training, and mate, I'm well keen to watch that.
Yeah,
I really like Liam.
Yeah. To recap or finally recap the competition. So I'm not being biased towards any groups at all because, to be honest, the amount of lifters that we had and the amount of saved lifts, the amount of PBs, like we said, were just phenomenal. Every group, I spoke to Nick, aka Grip and Rip, and he was going through some of the videos, and I said, look, you better post this one, you better post that one. And he said, look, I'm spoilt for choice with how many amazing lifts, however many sort of saves, crowd reactions. It was awesome. Like, it was fucking brilliant to see, and well done to everyone who competed. Whether or not you hit PBs or not, it's ballsy move to compete anyway, so well done. But I'm going to recap on my favourite group, and then if we go through some of the questions on your phone to kind of, how long have we been so far?
Just over 50, about 50 minutes.
Yeah, so we'll recap my favourite group, and then we'll go through the listeners'
Most
choices.
of them are from Pewee, but I'm keen.
I've got some on my phone, so I'll have to maybe try and log in. But anyway, so the last group of the day. So the last group of the day, usually at competitions, is usually the deadest, because in terms of they're there all day waiting. The crowd kind of disappears because everyone has pretty much already competed, which is absolutely fair enough. The crowd usually leaves, the room gets quieter, everything starts to become a little bit sort of, not dead, but just a little bit less, It's not the buzz and the excitement of the initial first, this competition, for everyone who's been there all day, it's a long day. But the good thing is, when I was there in the morning watching, I think I left when Liv went on, there was a lot of the bigger athletes weren't there yet. So they hadn't been there all day stewing. They've kind of just been at home chilling, had a bit of a lie-in, and they're working themselves up towards it, which, as it was a good comp and it ran on time, makes it even more important. Because when they actually get there, they know where they're at and they can, go in at this time and lift at this time. Yeah. But they're the biggest, the heaviest weight class at the end. Yeah. So we had the 110 and the 110 kilo plus involved, which I will shout everyone out individually because I fucking loved this group. And when I say it was by far it was almost like a pinch me moment. And this might sound a bit like sort of meh to people, but being in that back room, I've never experienced a back room like it, where we had Stuart, who was competing for the second time ever. We had Leon, who was doing the second competition at this at the venue. Last time he bombed. We had Gareth Dykes, who didn't do the last one, but he's an experienced competitor, very good lifter. We had Henry Axon, fucking phenomenal lifter, like 22 years old, I think, snatching like 140s plus, like fucking awesome boy, and really, really nice lad. And then we had Liam as well. So big Liam, again, you've seen him on the podcast, you know, he's snatching serious like 140s plus and clean and jerking some freakishly large weights. But the room, we had music absolutely slamming all the way through. The back room was electric and it was so supportive, and that was what was just the pinch me moment to me. So I'm going to try and quote what Leon said to Stuart at one point. So Stuart and Leon were sharing a barbell together, and I was coaching them both. Stuart being my athlete and Leon just being a friend that I've helped coach at competitions previously. And Stuart is snatching up to about 70 kilos plus at the moment, and he's clean and jerking. Well, he clean and jerked 100 kilos for the first time at on the competition platform, which was fucking awesome, and it was a hell of a lift to be honest. But then put him next to Leon, and Leon is snatching 120 plus and clean and jerking 150 plus. And Stuart said to him at one point, basically along the lines of, are you okay to share a bar with me because I'm lifting a lot less than you? And like try to make a joke of it. And before I could say anything, which I would have said something, Leon turned to him and said, look, mate, I'll share a bar with anyone who's willing to work hard and lift heavy. And I sat back and I was just like, that was such a nice thing for anyone to, like Leon and Stuart don't really know each other.
Yeah.
Like they don't know each other, but he literally just turned to him and said that exact word. And I just thought, fuck me, this is good. Like, you could have I've been in back rooms where, and rightfully so sometimes, people are arsehole to each other, you know, and they're just, you know, blanking each other.
It's not that kind of competition,
yeah,
though, is it?
Yeah, but it could have been, you know, it could be like people are trying to size each other up and people are trying to like rattle each other. And I get that because I've been in those environments, and in those times it is fun. But like Stuart was genuinely like, he was nervous, and, you know, you could tell he was sort of, okay, a bit anxious around it, but everyone was. But as the lifts went on, again, I've never experienced it. Stuart's warming up, Stuart's first out, and he missed a 50 kilo snatch. And 50 kilo snatch for Stuart shouldn't be missed. Like, Stuart's hitting that fucking every day for the rest of his life. And everyone in the room just went, come on, Stu, let's and I remember just turning around and everyone in the room was encouraging him. And I thought, this is amazing. Yeah. Like, I've never been in a back room where everyone wants him to do well. Everyone wants themselves to do well, and your coach is wanting you to do well. You're not really invested in what anything else is going on around you.
Yeah.
And I just thought, fucking hell, pinch me. Like, this is phenomenal. Like, everyone's getting involved in Stuart, and Stuart went out then and smashed 2 amazing snatches and then missed the last for a big jump and just again, fuck it and find out kind of lift. And he was buzzing. And then the competition opened up even more. And Gareth went out and hit some snatches. The back room was going off. Everyone was clapping each other for their back room lifts, and the atmosphere was flying. We had shout out music, like, you know, like I said, Bullet for My Valentine, you know, for Liam, and we had like some hardstyle on for some other boys and whatever. And then Leon comes out. Now, Leon, bearing in mind, Leon is a fantastic lifter, absolute lunatic though. Like when we talked about when we talked about it last week, saying about your craziest backroom experience, this is probably up there for me, right? So Leon bombed in the last competition. I was absolutely gutted for him, but he took mental jumps. Like he missed 110, I think, last time, and then just went, fuck it, put 115 on or put 120 on, and then missed 120, and then tried to go up to 125 and missed 125. Like he just doesn't care. Yeah. Or I thought he didn't care. And we've had conversations in between these competitions about what he wants to do and how he wants to compete and things like that. And we just both basically broke it down and put some things to bed, and it was great, right? And then in this competition, we're warming up, and he's absolutely smoking these snatches. But when I say he's the quickest lifter you'll ever see, like you've watched the video on the grip and rip, he has no setup.
That's him, is it?
Yeah, he literally steps up to the barbell.
Yeah, fast.
Once his hands go on the bar, he's lifted. Like there's no set, there's no anything. It is literally, boom, boom, he's in, he's gone. And he snatched, what did he snatch? He snatched 100 in the back room. And then I said, right, okay, he was trying to plan these mental jumps, which wouldn't have worked. And I said, look, just hit your opener for me. Again, the importance of hitting your opener. I said, right, snatch 110 as your opener. And then from there, you can do whatever you want because you've got a number in the competition. And he snatched 110. And generally, it was that quick. I was turning my phone down on the volume. And as I looked up, you'd already made the lift. I didn't even see the lift. It was that quick. And I thought, fuck me, he's on fire. Stood it up and he just went, snatch 110, turned to me and went, put 20 on. He just went, put 120 on, let's fucking go. And I was like, yes, let's see it.
What weight category is he?
110, but I think he's a light 110. He's way lighter than 110, I think.
Yeah.
But he basically said, right, put 120 on, I'm going for it. And I was like, this is class. Went over, booked his ticket, 120, came back in, put a song on for him. Right, let's give it. Now, this was the weight that he bombed on last time. And I was thinking, is this jump going to be too big?
Yeah.
And I was a bit scared for him. I was a bit nervous because I thought, I don't want this to ruin his day. Anyway, he goes out, absolutely smokes 120. And I'm thinking, fuck me, now where do we go? And he just turns to me and goes, put 25 on. And I was like, yes, this is amazing. This is what we need to see.
Yeah.
And then he has a really good go at 25 and misses 25. But it was like the total change of last competition to this competition was beautiful to see. Like he had support there. He went nuts after it, the 120. He was giving it large. And I was like, yes, like this is the atmosphere we need to keep going now. Then comes the battle between Henry and Liam. Now they're the top boys.
Yeah.
Top boys in the competition. And it was fucking brilliant because Henry, I think, hit his opener. Phenomenal snatch. I think it was like 130, top 130 something. I can't remember off the top of my head. Then Liam goes out and hits above him. And we're like, whoa, we got to fucking shoot at. Like, this is fucking brilliant. You know, this is literally a competition that we didn't see that was going to happen, but it is now a competition.
Yeah.
Then Henry goes up, misses his snatch. Then Liam goes out and hits his snatch. And it's like, oh my God, Henry's got one more to win. And unfortunately, he missed the snatch, but I think it landed on his calf and gave him a fucking big dead leg. And he had to pull out, which I'm absolutely devastated.
Yeah, that's not what you want.
I was so looking forward to seeing some massive clean and jerks from him because he's like a fucking ridiculous clean and jerker as well. Yeah. But then Liam goes, put, I think 45 on, requests a bullet for my Valentine, and he's standing there, and everyone in the back room is standing around him, wishing that.
You want everyone singing along.
Yeah, everyone's there, and he walks out to the platform, and he's fucking still singing and giving it loads, and then he misses the last snatch, and we were like, fuck. But then it goes into the clean and jerks, and the buzz in the room just kept going. Stuart, like I said, built up to his first ever 100 kilo clean and jerk, which was phenomenal to see, and he absolutely smoked it, but he just went. Again, the fuck it and find out attitude. He hit his second lift, and I said, what do you want? Like, what do you want out of this competition? He said, I would love 100. And I was like, on. Yeah. Whatever it is, I don't care what happens, we're hitting it, and it is what it is. And he absolutely smashed it. Gareth Dykes then fucking pulled it out of his arse. Like, he missed the first clean and jerk. Missed the second clean and jerk, and he was going for the last clean and jerk, otherwise he bombs. And he sat in the back room, he sat next to the speaker, we got the music absolutely pumping in his ears, and I'm just sat there and I'm just giving him fucking spiel. Like, I'm giving him everything I've got. I'm like, don't turn around to me after this clean and jerk and say, I could have tried harder. Yeah. I was like, this ain't the time for this shit. Like, you either make this lift or you fuck off, basically. Like, not in a nasty way, but I was like, look, you cannot half-ass this. And he goes out and makes it. And the whole crowd's like, yes! Yeah. And he gives it large, and it's like, he saved his competition. And it was like, oh, good, on to the next one. Then Leon hits 130 clean and jerk in about 2 seconds flat. It's just like, bum, 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 bum. And he's like, yes, I've got a total now. Turns to me and goes, put 40 on. So he's jumped 10 kilos again. Mm-hmm. Go again. I say, right, okay, we'll put 40 on. Smokes that. It's like, fucking hell, yes, we're going again. He's like, fuck it, put 50 on. So he's jumped 10 kilos each time. And then he goes out, and the video you'll all see, cleans it, stands it up like so hard, out of the hole. He's like grinding his way through it. And it's like, oh my God, this is it. Can he jerk this for the perfect competition? And then he misses the jerk. But it didn't matter because it was like the excitement in the room around Leon was like, this guy's fucking
Mate, I was more
insane.
impressed with the time it takes from his hands to touch the bar and then between that and him committing to the lift. It's like, as soon as you've touched that fucking metal, he's up with it.
Yeah, he's gone. There isn't any second guessing. There isn't any, I've got these technical cues or anything special. It is literally it's literally just hand go, and he's in, and it's fantastic to see. And anyway, like he was buzzing because I said to him afterwards, I was like, how about that for retribution?
Yeah.
Same competition, about half a year later or a year later, about 3/4 of a year later. And last time he bombed on all of those numbers. This time he's hit all of them, and I was like, that was fucking. And I shook his hand, and I was like, mate, that's class. Like, that's fucking brilliant. And then to finish off, Liam is fucking clean and jerking for his last ever clean and jerks in a weightlifting competition. And he goes out, I think on 150 as opener, and cleans it. And we're like, right. And then we're all expecting a split jerk. He fucking squat jerks it, but it's the slowest squat jerk ever. He just takes the piss. He goes in, he puts it above his head, and then he rides it down. And I'm not kidding you. The squat must take 4 seconds. It's like he's got it above his head, and everyone's looking at him like, what is he doing? And he just keeps going lower and lower and lower and lower. And we're thinking, is he going to stand this up? Like, and then he just stands it up and turns around and he's just laughing about it. And we're like,
he's such a big man to be squat jerking.
Oh, it was freakishly big. And it was just one of those moments where it was just a fitting moment to end his weightlifting career on.
Yeah.
You know, he said to me afterwards, he said, look, I'm there to have fun. I'm there to support everyone here. I'm not here to do anything crazy, which he did do. Crazy things.
Pretty crazy.
To be honest, like that back room in the last group, I wish I could relive it. I wish I could just sit there and just watch it all happen again, because it felt like a big Friday session with 6 or 7 boys just all fucking going at it, all helping each other, all, trying some crazy shit, random shit, and it was just working.
Boys being boys.
Yeah, and that for me was the highlight.
Everyone wanted everyone to do well, and it was a competition, but no one was bitter about it or trying to one up the other person.
Yeah.
Do you want to finish with some questions to the post you put out?
Yes, yeah. Go for it.
So, favourite moments from the competition. Gareth Dykes put last session support and energy, unreal.
Yeah, so yeah.
Reiterating what we've been over.
Yeah.
Pee said, watching Mac in his element, coaching like a workhorse. You were fucking zoned in.
Yeah, it was a lot of, I was like, by the end of the day, I was seeing the matrix numbers, the board just turned into just zeros and ones, and I just...
You walked past me at one moment, and you were like, big man, slapped me on the shoulder, and you were physically there, but you were like dead in the eyes just walking past.
Yeah.
The cake stand was unreal. The cake stand was unreal. I went up and I bought 3 cakes, 2 for Lily and George and 1 for Abby.
Yeah.
With the intention of not having any, but they looked so good when we got back. I did actually have some.
Shout out to my client's son, Susan, if you're listening. Well, I'll send this to her. Susan, she turned up actually, one of my favourite clients. She turned up to the event to support his son, but she came in and watched it, and she has no idea. She's no idea about weightlifting, but she was like, "Oh, is this what it's all about?" And she said, "Oh, yeah." And she's a ex-Welsh teacher, so she loved the fact that it was St. David's Day, and it was class.
Danny and her finger. I think I did see that. Her finger popped off the bar.
Yeah. She had a great save where she cleaned. I can't remember. She cleaned her last clean and jerk, stood it up, and when you your hands get kind of trapped under the bar, and you need to rejig, but you just can't quite.
The Colombian
Yeah, you need to move, but you just can't quite do it. She somehow managed to jig them around after saying, "Oh, my finger's stuck," and then she went on to make the lift, which was usually if you're fucking about with it for that long, you go, oh, right, okay, you're going to miss.
Yeah.
But, you know, she made the lift, which was fucking awesome. I'm trying to find on my laptop how I get onto my story to see... hold on.
I can't remember the last time I used a computer, mate. So
Exactly.
Pewee has also put, Sam complimenting my back. I gave Pewee a hug as I walked in, and I said, good to see you, mate, as it's always a pleasure to see him. And I sort of put my arm around him and put my hand onto his lat, and it was like touching some sort of, I don't know,
slab of beef,
bovine fucking cattle. Like, he was just built differently. Like, I touched my back, and I got there's a bit of muscle there. I put it on him, and it was like my hand wasn't big enough to actually get around the muscle on him. So I'd love to have seen Pewee lift that day, but
I'm glad that he couldn't lift.
Saving himself for some naughty overhead pressing, I think.
Yeah, there was a couple of other shout outs, a couple of saves, and a couple of like Lil's. She had a bit of an awkward one where she got sort of dropped by a final cleaner jerk, but she's a gymnast, so she was like stupidly flexible. If that had happened to me, it would have literally broke me in half. And I think everyone in the room said the same things along the line of, oh my God, like this was gonna kill me if that happened. But she you know, she's okay and she bounced out of it. She had a good competition as well, which was good. Shout out to fucking Meg as well, kiloing me and Liv. Which ended up being okay in the end because Liv made the maddest split jerk I've probably ever seen her do. Do you know what kiloing means?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't understand, when you're basically when you're building up your weights, and let's say if I say, right, I'm gonna go out on 70 kilos. And I hit my 70 kilos, and then I go up. Sam puts more weight on. All of a sudden, the clock then goes back onto me, and rather than having like a 2-minute break, it runs the clock down to a minute, which for us in that instance was more like 50 seconds. So then I had to up the weight again. So then it made Liv go out heavier than it should have been, or we wanted to go. And to be fair to her, she still managed to clean it. And the biggest jerk, like her feet were on other ends of platform. It was wild how big it was, and she saved it. And I just thought, oh, thank God. And I think, yeah, thank you, Meg. But yeah, she obviously didn't mean to. She was just very busy at the time and couldn't do it. What else? I don't think I can get actually onto my fucking thing on a laptop, but how long have we been?
We are over an hour.
Oh, the couple of questions saying when will the next one be?
This was my finishing question to you, actually.
To be honest, maybe in the summer. We're going to try and do one every St. David's Day. So I think we're just going to book that in the calendar every year of that's our day. So if you want to come do one on a St. David's, then crack on. It's actually quite cool seeing a lot of the English people buy our t-shirts with a Welsh flag and a Welsh dragon on. I thought,
there's a few I was like, pissed off people about that, going, oh, I like it all, but I just don't like this bit of shit on the corner by here.
I was like, fuck off. Just shut up. It's the best flag in the world. What, better than your cross? Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
we got a dragon on ours.
We got on there.
Our rugby team might be shit, but our flag is class.
Say, it doesn't represent much, but it's a cool picture.
But yeah, overall, I loved it. The day was incredible, and I can't thank everyone enough for turning up and putting on a great showing of it. In terms of when will the next one be, maybe another one this year. We'll probably aim to do maybe twice a year. I think that's manageable for us, because you don't
want one every month.
No, you don't. But you don't realise how much behind the scenes need to work before you can actually run a competition, and everything needs to line up perfectly. And if it doesn't line up perfectly, the stress is fucking unbelievable. Well, the stress for me anyway, because I just wanted.
It was very professional though. You had a coffee truck there.
Shout out the Grindfather. He was cool again.
That's such a cool name.
Yeah,
you had a coffee truck. Even things like Portaloos, stuff like that. You got to think of, you know.
Yeah.
And obviously the cake stand was phenomenal. So, mate, 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah. So that was the review of the competition. Hopefully we'll try and get a guest on next week. I think just mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, we had a bit of a mixed match with getting people on.
Yeah.
But we will square that away soon.
Yeah. Sound.
As always, guys, thank you very much for listening. Usk Stoves, Vale Park, Pontypool, MP4 0JL, or just chuck them an email. Stoves, log burners, keep your house warm, and it's a nice addition to the living room.
Yeah,
Can't wait to get one.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for listening.